Old School Pokemon here. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a massive CGC return. I'm going to go ahead and hop right into this, and we'll kind of talk about things as we go through all of these cards. So, like I said, this return is absolutely massive. I sent these cards off to CGC shortly before they increased their pricing, so I got all these cards graded under the old pricing. Starting us off, we have some first edition base set uncommon cards. Now, I received 1,612 cards as part of this shipment that I got yesterday. I have another 205 coming this afternoon, and I believe those other 205 are going to be the beginning of the first edition base uncommons. So all the, starting off with Arcanine, Charmeleon, Dugong, so on and so forth. I believe that's what that second CGC submission is going to be. I'm not completely sure though, but so starting us off, we have the first edition base set full heal CGC mint 9. I didn't go for the subgrades with this submission. This is the first submission that I opted to grade the cards without subgrades, just because, like I said, I submitted these cards back right before CGC increased their pricing. So I got these cards in under the old pricing, which was $7.20 per card, plus return shipping, or shipping to, I submitted these cards through Ledkins, so I had to pay shipping down to Ledkins, and then I also had to pay shipping from Ledkins back to me. So in total, between the shipping down to Ledkins and the return shipping, it was probably around $8 per card if you factor in all of those costs. So really, really cheap compared to today's pricing, where even without subgrades, you're looking at like 12, 15 bucks to get cards graded through CGC. So if I paid that pricing, I don't think I would do as good with these cards. But where my cost basis on these cards is so much lower, I think I'll be doing fairly well with these cards. It's a lot of just bulkier type cards, so like what you're seeing right now are all of the first edition base set commons and uncommons that I submitted. I also submitted a lot of Shadowless commons and uncommons, and then first edition jungle commons and uncommons, first edition fossil, first edition Team Rocket, and then there's also some first edition Neo Destiny. I thought I had submitted some Neo Genesis through Neo Revelation, but apparently I didn't. That must have been in another submission that I have at CGC right now. But yeah, so ton of cards to go through. Super excited about this submission or return right here, because prior to getting these cards back from CGC, I really didn't have too many graded cards within my eBay inventory. I probably had maybe 100, 200 cards, maybe a little bit more than that, but it was only a couple hundred cards that I had within my graded card inventory. So this really expanded that inventory, and it's gonna be quite some time before I get all of these listed on eBay. I'm gonna be starting with these cards that I'm showing you within this video today. That's why I kind of wanted to get this video recorded before I went ahead and started taking pictures of everything and getting everything listed onto eBay and kind of added into my eBay inventory, if you will. So figured I'd start with this stuff, and then when I kind of get caught up with this, I'll do a part 2 to this video where I'll show you kind of like the second part of all the cards that I got back from CGC. So today's video is going to involve, I'm going to try and get through all of the first edition base set cards. There are a lot of them. I didn't realize, I actually forgot that I submitted so many first edition base set cards into CGC within this submission. So this video is going to entail all of the first edition base commons and uncommons, plus I'm going to try and get through the Shadowless uncommons, and that'll be the end of this video. But I don't know if I'll even be able to get all of those in, just because there are so many cards to go through. I believe I haven't counted, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of the BCW shoe boxes completely full, and that's just like what I said, first edition base, and then the Shadowless uncommons as well. So yeah, it's a lot of cards. You don't realize how much space 1,700 CGC cards take up. When I submitted these cards into Ledkins, I remember everything fit into two just 500 count cardboard boxes, like card boxes, the 500 count ones, and then into a medium flat rate box. But when I got these cards back, it took up a lot more space there. So continuing on with the first edition base commons here. Overall, I was pleasantly surprised with my grades. I do wish that I had received at least one CGC 10, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Overall, like you guys are seeing right here, overall the grades, the majority of the grades were CGC Mint 9s, which I was happy about. I'm just glad they're not CGC 8.5s or 8s or anything like that. But so yeah, overall, the grades were CGC Mint 9s for the vast majority. I did receive a few CGC 9.5s as well. Plus, I also received a few 8.5s, and then there were a couple 8s. Really not too many CGC 8s, which was nice. But what I'm planning on doing with all of these cards is all of the first edition base commons and uncommons I'm going to list as being individual cards within my eBay store. I don't think I got any 9.5s on the first edition base cards, but I know I did get a few 8.5s, 8.5s and then Mint 9s. So all of those are going to be listed within my eBay store as individual cards. And then getting into the Shadowless stuff, I did build 2 complete uncommon sets. So all 32 cards as part of the uncommon Shadowless set. Those I'm going to be selling or trying to sell as complete sets. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build 1 complete uncommon and common set to get listed on eBay, all CGC Mint 9s, and then I'm going to list the other uncommon set just as an uncommon set. See how those do. But the remainder of the cards, everything else, those will just be listed as individual cards within my eBay store as well. But so that was box number 1 of 4. So now we're getting into box number 2 right here. Just give me a minute to get these out. So continuing on with the first edition base set cards right here, we're winding down with those. For any of you wondering where all these cards came from, if you've been following my YouTube channel for a while, back towards the beginning of this year, I want to say back in maybe February, March, somewhere around there. It was a while ago, but back around the beginning of this year, I purchased around 1,200 first edition base set commons and uncommons off of Gary King Pokemon, and that is where these cards came from. I submitted a lot into CGC. Actually, I submitted a lot more than I originally thought I did. I didn't remember that I submitted this many into CGC, because I do have a few other returns that I've gotten previously from CGC with first edition base set cards. Those ones do have the subgrades as well. But yeah, so I didn't realize I submitted this many into CGC, but apparently I did. So I submitted a bunch into CGC. I also submitted a bunch into PSA. I believe I submitted 500 of the first edition base commons and uncommons into PSA, and then about 500 into CGC, and then the remainder were just more or less just near mint condition, which I listed as just being individual cards within my eBay store. But yeah, so what you're seeing right here is all of the 8.5s. I already went through and kind of separated everything out according to the grade. So you saw all of the uncommon 9s and then the uncommon 8.5s. Now you're seeing the common 9s, and then right now you're seeing the common 8.5. So I did kind of organize everything already just to make it easier for when I go ahead and kind of take pictures of everything and get everything listed on eBay, I like to keep everything in this order right here, where it's starting off with the uncommons from first edition base set, all in numerical order by the grades. You have the 9s first, and then you go 8 5s, then you go into the commons, all organized by numerical order and by the grades. So starting off with the 9s, and then getting into the 8s as well. But yeah, so going to be starting off with these, getting these listed on eBay over the next couple weeks. It's going to be a long process getting all this stuff listed on eBay and all of that. But we're finally coming to a close on the first edition base set cards right here. We've got the last few 8 5s, and then we'll move right into the Shadowless base set as well. Before we do that, I will show you the kind of the stacks of cards that I have here, so you guys can see, just get an idea on the quantity of first edition base. So that was the final first edition base set card, and as you can see, there were a whole bunch of them. So those are all commons and uncommons from the first edition base set. Now we'll get into the Shadowless base set. So again, I submitted a whole bunch of these Shadowless base set cards. I believe I submitted 10 complete uncommon and common sets into CGC as part of this submission. So there are a lot of these Shadowless cards. Starting us off, we have the Gem Mint 9.5. So we got a 9.5 on the Charmeleon. That was really nice right there. Got a couple 9.5s on the Charmeleons. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to build a complete uncommon 9.5 set, but like I said, I was able to build 2 complete 9 uncommon sets. And then I haven't gone through any of the common cards just yet, but I should be able to build at least a couple complete common sets, or a couple complete CGC 9 common sets from what I have. I don't know if I'll be able to build a 9.5 set, but we'll see. We'll see on that. Would be nice to be able to build a 9.5 set from the common cards. But yeah, some of these cards are a little bit dusty. I haven't really wiped any of them down. I don't know why the cards get so dusty in the packaging that CGC or Ledkins mail them back to you. But there was a lot of like cardboard, little cardboard slivers and all that type of stuff on these cards, which I haven't even wiped down yet. So that's why you're seeing like all this junk right here. Haven't wiped any of that stuff down yet, but before I take pictures, I will. And then once I take pictures of everything, then I'll go ahead and put them into graded card sleeves and add them into my eBay inventory, which I gotta figure out a new inventory system now. I used to have all of my graded cards, because like I said, I really didn't have too many graded cards prior to this return right here. So what I used to do is I used to have all of my graded cards within, I just kept them all within 3 or 4 large flat rate boxes. I was able to do 3 rows of 50 cards within each large flat rate box, and I just had all of the cards that I had, all of my graded cards within those boxes. But now, where I have so many of these cards, I don't think that would be the best organizational method. So what I'm planning on doing is I bought 10 of the these, I'll show you right here, these BCW graded card boxes. I bought 10 of those on eBay before I actually realized that I was going to be getting this CGC return back. I purchased those 10 off of eBay, and I'm glad that I did, because it was actually funny. The day I got those boxes in the mail, the graded card boxes, like the shoe boxes, the day I got those in the mail, I got the email from Ledkins saying that my orders were being shipped back to me. So it was a good thing that I did order all those boxes. But like I said, I ordered 10 of those boxes, and I filled all 10 of them up completely. Plus, I still have more cards that are sitting in the just kind of the return boxes that you get back from CGC. So definitely have to order more of those graded card boxes. Those things are actually pretty expensive. I was surprised by that when I was looking on eBay to purchase a couple myself. My distributor doesn't have any available, which is unfortunate because you can get them a lot cheaper from distributors. But on eBay, I paid the lowest price that I can find on eBay when I purchased these a couple days ago, or about a week ago now. The lowest price on eBay was a bundle of 10 boxes that I purchased for $117 and some change. So basically paying 17 bucks per box, which to me sounds really expensive, but that was the lowest price on eBay, and it's just similar to what's going on with all the card supplies right now. Everything is really, really expensive with the kind of all the shipping delays that are going on right now. But hopefully that'll get sorted out eventually, and we'll get back to normal in terms of pricing on all of these card supplies. I'm about ready for that. I'm sick of paying so much for top loaders and penny sleeves and all of that stuff. But yeah, it'll just take time before all that gets back to normal. But I don't think I've talked about this yet, but I think I briefly mentioned that I didn't get these cards graded with subgrades. That was because I wanted, like I said, I submitted these cards back in March or April, right before CGC was raising their prices, and I wanted to submit a lot of cards into CGC to kind of get under the old pricing before CGC raised their prices. So I was thinking to myself, I could either submit, it was something like 1,000 cards to get graded with the subgrades, or if I opted to not have the subgrades, I could grade something like 1,600 or 1,700 cards. It was a substantial difference between the two, but basically I can grade, call it 1,000. I forget if that was the exact number that I figured out, but I did figure this out. Say it was 1,000 cards graded with the subgrades, or 1,700 cards graded without the subgrades, and it was basically the same price if I wanted to grade 1,000 cards with the subgrades or 1,700 cards without the subgrades. So because I wanted to grade a whole bunch of cards under the old pricing, I opted to grade everything without the subgrades. And when I submitted these cards into CGC, I was a little bit nervous about not having the subgrades on these cards because I personally do really, really like the subgrades on CGC graded cards. But looking back at that now, I am very, very glad that I opted to grade all of these cards without subgrades, because now that they don't have subgrades, I'll be able to create listings with, say, just this one Raticate, and I'll be able to put all of the Raticates that I have available within that one listing. So I'll make one listing, I'll call it a quantity 4 of Raticates, and it'll just make selling these cards a lot easier than having to sort through everything by the subgrades and kind of match up which card has the same subgrades, so I can do a multi-quantity listing. This way it's just a lot easier to manage, where there are so many cards to actually sort through and get listed on eBay. So I am really glad that I didn't get subgrades with this order. Plus the cost basis being $7.20 per card, rounded up to $8 per card with the return shipping. I haven't actually went through and calculated how much my cost basis is per card with all of the shipping costs. I know it was around $60 shipping, mailing down to Ledkins, because I did mail it via USPS Express Mail, so that was fairly expensive right there. And then the return shipping was, I believe it was around $300 or $350 for all of this, which I was surprised it was so expensive. It does make sense considering the weight of all these cards. But yeah, Ledkins, for those of you who don't know, is based down in Virginia. I'm based out of Massachusetts, so if I wanted to drive down to Ledkins, it's only about a 12-hour drive from my house down to Ledkins. And so for shipping to be $350 from Virginia to Mass was pretty expensive, but definitely worth it. I was so happy to get all of these cards back, and it's going to be a busy couple weeks for me. I don't know how long it's going to take me to actually get all of these listed on eBay. It's definitely going to take a good couple weeks. I'll hopefully be finished by around Christmas time. That'll give me a solid 2 or 3 weeks to get everything listed, which I think is doable. Hold on one second here. Just pulling the last box. So we got one more box to go through, and then that'll end this video. Sorry if it's turning into a long video, and sorry if I'm not spending as much time kind of going over each individual card here, but I just wanted to kind of show everything that I got within this return. Like I said, after I record this video, I will be starting to take pictures of all of these cards and get these listed on eBay. And then after all of these are listed on eBay, then I'm going to go back and get the first edition Jungle commons and uncommons. I'll probably do first edition Jungle and first edition Fossil. So I'll get all those organized, similar to how all of these are organized, and then I'll upload I'll record and upload a YouTube video going over all of those cards. Then I'll get all of those listed on eBay, and then I'll do the same thing with the first edition Team Rocket and sorry about that. First edition Team Rocket and Neo Destiny. First edition Neo Destiny. And then I will be curious to know what these 200 cards I'm getting back from Ledkins today are. Like I said, I think it's going to be the first half of the uncommons, because I do believe I sent all the character cards. I do believe I sent those as part of this submission. So I'll be curious to know what's inside there. I'm thinking that's what it's going to be, but it could be something else as well. I'm really not too sure. I love using Ledkins. I guess now it's something different. It's under a different name now. But I really do enjoy using Ledkins. I think they offer a great service. It makes submitting cards so much easier because you don't have to do any of the submission work. But the only downside that I have with Ledkins is the tracker that they use so that you can kind of keep track of your orders. That tracker is really pretty much useless. I wish they had something like when you submit cards yourself into CGC, you're able to view each order that you submitted, when they received it, when it got entered into their system, all that kind of stuff. And then if you click on that actual order, you can see line by line everything that you submitted at that time. So I wish Ledkins had something like that, but I know it would be nearly impossible to keep up with the amount of cards that they're getting in, or that they were getting in back before PSA shut down. But that's the only downside that I have with Ledkins. Aside from that, they offer fantastic service, and it saves me a whole bunch of time not having to fill out those submission forms. I know CGC recently updated their submission form, their like online submission center. But before their update, which I haven't submitted anything into CGC myself in a long time. But I don't know what this new system is, if it did really help or improve at all. But before they did that update, the submission form that you had to fill out to submit anything to CGC was absolutely ridiculous. It took so long. But yeah, hopefully they change that. But submitting through Ledkins just saves so much time. So those are all of the individual cards that I'm going to be listing on eBay over the next week or so. Like I said, I also built 2 uncommon sets. So I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to kind of show you these. So you guys have already seen all the individual cards. But this is basically the entire uncommon Shadowless Base Set right here. I was able to build 2 of them, so you get all 32 cards within each of these sets. Like I said, I'm going to list one of these as being just an uncommon complete CGC 9 set. The other one, I'm going to build at least one common Shadowless set as well, and kind of list them as a common and uncommon Shadowless set, just to see how they do. I don't know if I'll have too many takers on an entire CGC 9 set, but we'll see how they do, since I already have basically all of the individual cards. My limiting factor with the CGC 9 sets were Ivysaur, which is, let's see here, next card. So we got Haunter, Ivysaur. So that was my limiting factor with the CGC 9 sets. I only submitted, I submitted about 10 of everything for the commons and the uncommons. I actually didn't have too many Ivysaurs to submit into CGC, because I sent a lot of the starters and the Pikachus off to PSA. So I think I only had like 5 or 6 Ivysaurs that I submitted into CGC, and a lot of them came back 8.5s. I only got 2 9s, because that was my limiting factor for these sets. So I only had 2 9 Ivysaurs, which I put into these sets, and then all the other cards I pretty much had duplicates of that I'm going to be listing on eBay as individual cards. But yeah, so let me put that there, and I'll kind of just fan out so you guys can get an idea on what we went through today. So that is everything that we went through today. That is all of the first edition uncommons, first edition commons, as well as the Shadowless uncommons. In about a week, I'll do another video going over the Shadowless commons and the some of the other stuff that I got back as well. But for now, this is what I'm going to be listing on eBay over the next week or so. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I know that was a bit longer than I was anticipating, but we went through a lot of cards. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.